Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, either back or for the first time, to my review to my channel. Doing a review about Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. But of course, all the good VTuber YouTubers, oh, I'm failing, my brain's failing me already. Always make sure to remind you to like and subscribe to the videos as soon as possible, and doing other good stuff with them, like watching shorts on this, on my other channel, my bad, recording this off a live stream, so you know the jankiness. Sod Passion Gaming, watching the streams there, liking the shorts there. It's a huge help, not only to me as a person, you know, and kind of helps both channels. I send people back and forth between them whenever I can. A bunch of other good stuff that you can find in my link tree that would really help. And as you can see, Discord and Reddit, all that good stuff. As you can see on the screen, donations for a new PC. This one was acting up for about 10 minutes while streaming before I could start this review, so that was delightful, wasn't it? Oh well, oh well. Now, before I forget, let's just get rid of that and transition. Now that I have plugged it, you can donate via all sorts of ways via the link tree. That would be appreciated. Now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was a rather delightful film for me that constantly had me cackling. Just because, not because it was a very funny film, because I was just having so much fun watching it, engaging with the combat and the set pieces and just the tone and style. There we are of the film. It was rather engaging for me. And it should not be surprising given the director, just reminding myself of his name, Sam Raimi, famed for the Evil Dead franchise as well as the OG Spider-Man trilogy. And boy, oh boy, did he excel in this medium yet again. With far more advanced technology, a far bigger budget than any of those films had, I believe, he performed spectacularly. Thanks for hanging in there. Take a break if you need it. Oh, you're responding to that, yes. Anyway, I had a delight watching this, and I really think it did a wonderful job between just like all the character interactions and like character journeys. Do I want to start with that or? Well, start off simply. American Chavez is played wonderful by. Pulling up the name. Zochiti? Is that an L? Zotitil. I know that's even worse. Gomez, my apologies. She does a wonderful job playing it. Have a delightful time with her, and she does start off as a rather nervous, I want to say either teen or young adult. Given the circumstance, she has the ability to travel the multiverse. We later find out through the course of the film, the first time her powers ever activated separated her from her parents. Two moms that will probably be edited out to be two dads in other markets. Yay. Anywho, where was I? And that's caused this deep-rooted insecurity about use of her powers. It only activates when she is terrified or being controlled. We'll get into that. But through the course of the film, and via the aid of Doctor Strange, which ties into his character arc we'll get into in a moment, as she learns to become confident within herself, and, you know, thus gains the ability to, I'm trying to look at a clever way to say this. She gains some controls over powers, but, you know, just got them, so keep that in mind. Now, for Wong, and Strange, Wong is adapting well to life as Sorcerer Supreme, taking great care and responsibility with everything that comes with said title, and Strange, by the end, starts off a bit reluctant, but eventually accepts and embraces the traditions to show signs of respect to him, you know, despite him still being still a powerful sorcerer himself, but he just respects him as an individual and as a sorcerer supreme. He handles his job well, with dedication. What else? Strange himself probably has the best character arc throughout this film, as you would hope for, like, the title character. His arc pretty much goes from dealing with the consequences of the snap in Avengers Infinity War, and basically realizing Christina, his love interest from the first film, moved on during the 5 years he was dead and is now engaged. We start off in the wedding, and then stuff happens from there. Anywho, and over the course of these film, I was about to say stream. Whoops, I can't remember if you bit the. Nope, not yet. Not yet. Probably at some point. I need to buy it first. Anywho, chat asking me if I played Miles Morales on the PS5. Anywho, over the course of the film, he is confronted with his need to constantly control things out of some sense of fear of lack of control. Just constantly being control things. I'm repeating myself, stuttering now. Stuttering out, I should say. As constantly confronted with that by other people who constantly seek to have control and do great harm in the name of that control, or alternate reality versions of himself that went too far in the name of being the one in control, the one who can solve the issue, the one, as the film likes to say, be behind the knife, though I would have preferred scalper. I guess they didn't feel that would have been natural enough, but it's kind of weird when you're just talking about knives, hint at, oh no, it's a scalper, like the doctors, and he has to be the one always in charge, doing the operation, saving the day whenever he can get away with it. And by the end of the film, Strange saves the day with, America Chavez. I almost mixed up the names. Now, maybe in the future. Anywho. Saves the day with America Chavez by giving her the confidence she needs in order to wield her power and giving up that control. No longer giving it to fear and, trying to steal her powers as many people have throughout the film. Even at the point where Wong is saying, okay, we're out of all other options. We have to do this. Given, the big bad of the film is, they're out of any other options at that point to try and deal with her. And even America Chavez herself, in a moment of, self-sacrifice, says, yes, she needs to be stopped. Please, don't let her get these powers. She will do so much harm with this. He doesn't do it. He instead gives her the confidence she needs and trusts in her to be able to handle and help with the situation instead of taking control of it and, taking her out of the picture in order to get that control. And it is a remarkable character growth for Strange that I am thoroughly enraptured by and I'm just in love with it. Especially as the very end of the film. Throughout the course of the first film, and I'm not sure how big it featured, if at all, in Avengers Infinity War and Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. Throughout the course of the first film, we have this watch that was given to him by Christina that is broken and damaged and is a symbolism of him trying to go out and fix it via his problems via magic. And there's also a symbol of his regrets and inability to, embrace that he can't control everything and to move on. He keeps trying to look towards the past and find a way to claw it back. Much as the villain of this piece, Wanda Maximoff, is. But the very end of the film shows him in a rather upbeat and happy way, taking his watch and replacing the damaged, what's the name of it? Piece of glass that covers the mechanisms? I don't know. Fixing that and getting it up and running again. I just love that little bit of symbolism there right at the end of the film. It was an inspired choice, if I do say so myself. Now, that covers everyone. Christine, kinda there out of obligation, married in Earth 616 as I like to refer it. Taking a sip of coffee. You have to live with that in the review. Sorry. Not. Anywho. Just to show that she did move on, she just wasn't constantly pining and waiting and hoping for Strange. And eventually we do come across an alternate reality version of her who joins up with the main cast because of circumstances. Well, I say main cast, main characters we're following, there we are. But even then, despite how tempted she might be for, like, given her Strange had died, to go back, she just knows it would be a bad idea. And also, I don't know, they also, going into a little bit of the plot now, say, like, incursions into other realities could potentially cause two worlds to collide and collapse. And it's like, I don't know, you're kind of taking the fun out of the multiverse there, saying, like, oh no, there's always grand danger whenever just one person, one random person, happens to end up in another universe they don't belong in. Oh, it could collapse realities, you know? Maybe if they did a better job of saying, like, hey, if you're, like, constantly trying to punch through these wild, insecure manner, that could cause it, sure. But just, like, anybody just being present in another universe, like, that feels weak. Anywho, where was I before that? Yes, Christine. Despite how much she is tempted, accepts the past is the past, as does Strange, and they part on amicable terms. Now, where was I? Wanda Maximoff. They do a good job, like, balancing between, like, a mother desperate to get her children back, terrifying and yet also sympathetic, and to a point redeemable. She has just kind of gone too far, been put through a lot of trauma, and has just been left alone with no support mechanisms and has been driven insane by a constant longing to have those children from WandaVision back as her own, as opposed to just figments of her imagination brought forth by the reality she conjured. She is so desperate for that, she doesn't stop to question what she's doing. Is it too far? She just focuses single-mindedly on getting him back and hunting down whoever she must in order to do it. Oh, what did you do? That happened in Sonic Boom. They just finished 1 point of mid-chimp. Oh, God. Or 64% sugar daily value. Okay. Also, I will ask you what happened in Sonic Boom. Chat. Delightful. Really, we're gonna dig into Sonic Boom in this review of Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse. Anything can happen when you got a chat on screen. Anywho, where was I? Such single-minded obsession in getting it back. She goes way too far and then comes to regret it when faced with reality at the end. That her attempts to obtain these children would ultimately make them hate her and fear her for what they would do to her the original mother, as well as, all the harm they've done. And that is a rather clever call of American Chavez to open up a portal, as she is able to do, to that reality to show off this effect, and good call on Strange to keep it going a little bit longer. I also really do like the alternate reality version of herself could understand, like, how she could be driven to do this given certain circumstances. And it's like, you're still capable of being loved, if I'm remembering correctly. So, I really did like that. They didn't just, like, say, okay, you're such a danger, we have to kill you now. It's like, still some compassion and understanding. On that note, I will speak something of the plot. Well, it does happen in a rather fast-paced manner. Je ne sais quoi. TLDR. At the wedding, America Chavez pops in out of nowhere with a dead Doctor Strange, hides the body. This happens off-screen, but then is chased by a bloody tentacle monster. Some funny jokes there as well when it just grabs all of the limbs. That happens a few times in this. Don't know if that's ever going to become a thing online with a, fan artist of adult variety, but anywho. Where was I? Yes, being attacked, saved by Doctor Strange and Wong, finds out what's happening. Strange buries the body. Just hides underneath some cobblestone and some dirt on it. Why would there be Yeah, I didn't question it at the time, but there was dirt under that cobblestone. What's it? Je ne sais quoi. On top of a building? What? Okay, sure, whatever. We'll roll with that. Anywho, go to. Oh god, I don't remember. Whatever is the sacred school they went to the first time in the first film. I don't remember the name of it. Anywho, they hide, prevent. They go. Strange goes to Wanda in order to get to help, but Wanda lets slip. She knows her name. She's the one that's been hunting her and sending the monsters to acquire her powers. Oh, ho, ho. And then they have to be defensive against her. What's it? Someone then called my brother. Unknown number at that point, so I missed what exactly she said, but she starts messing with people's mind to get past the defenses after they, like, put up some defense to pretend against a brute force. But, she uses her mind powers, finds a way in. There's all this lovely horror stuff going on with, like, reflections and them trying to trap her in the mirror dimension and her just crawling out like a horror monster. A little horror monster. They say this is the MCU's first horror film. And I do wish it goes farther in some moments, Not even as gory, but just, more horrific. It is certainly a good horror film. At least a softcore one, I love so many. There's so many stings and musical notes that I love. We'll get into that in a bit. Already full of images of whoever you said and the tentacle monster. Reenacting that disturbing scene. Oh, little W monster. That got past. Oh well. Knuckles and Eggman and episodes, both from another universe, both the existence threatened to kill. Well, that just takes the fun out of it. That's artificial tension, This tension should come from like character actions, them threatening to destroy the world. Speaking of, we'll get on to that in a moment. Wanda gets out, tries to steal her powers, but it ends up warping Strange and America to another dimension. There's a lovely trippy scene. Mwah. Delightful. They end up in a slightly more utopian, but, don't know how much, it just looks slightly better. Version of Earth, what's it? It's kind of strange. They go on red stoplights, etc., etc., etc. Whole while there, Wanda's trying to use the Dockholm or whatever it is in order to, as a film likes to call, dreamwalk, or possess alternate versions of herself to then hunt down Strange in that reality. But it's a funny show. Yeah, I think I said before, like, it gets constantly too meta with too many characters for me to really get into it, but I do see its good moments. It's got clear skill behind it. Anywho, there's a brief review of Sonic Boom for you in this Doctor Strange review. Anywho. Mordo, whatever it is Sorcerer Supreme now. Strange trusts him, but probably shouldn't. Like, if someone I knew was out to kill me was in an alternate reality, I wouldn't take anything from them. Strange does and gets knocked out and ends up meeting the Illuminati, made up of some altered reality versions of characters you already know. Charles Xavier, played by Patrick Stewart, is there. Mr. Fantastic. I can't remember who played. Oh, wait, I can pull up the name right now. I got the cast here. There we are. By John Koniski, I want to say. Anywho. Oh, yeah, Bruce Campbell is in here as a cameo. Best end credit scene of the film. Strange makes him punch himself, and then last end credit scene is like the spell finally breaking and him looking straight forward at the camera and saying, "It's over." That is chef's kiss, no notes, perfect. I know, but it's gotta be one character, or at least like one character in what's the typical established series, and then multiple can meet up. It's like if you had a Deadpool series where like everybody around Deadpool was as meta as Deadpool. It's like, you get what I'm coming from? If everybody's meta, it's no longer special and fun. If everybody's meta, nobody is. Anywho, meets them, tries to argue the case, and we learn what really happened to Strange in that reality. They think he died, defeating Thanos, but instead he went too far, dreamwalking on his own, caused one of these incursion events that destroyed a reality, and confessed to them and helped them defeat Je ne sais quoi. Let's take a sip of water. Thanos, there we are. But after that, the group, including What's It Black Bolt, decide, nah, we're not gonna trust you again. Gonna vaporize you with his voice now. And they act like all remorseful about it, but it's like, you could have not killed him. I get like he messed up tremendously, like incalculably when it comes to like a scale of destroying a universe. But at the same time, when he did mess up, he didn't write it off or make up an excuse or try and keep it all from you. He opened up and confessed to his wrongdoing. I want to say universal manslaughter. Is that a term? Okay. I feel like you could have just, put him under house arrest. There was cuffs in this that, restrained Doctor Strange's sorcery powers. You could have done the same for this Strange as well, and let him out to help you guys whenever there was a serious threat, and kept him under house arrest whenever there wasn't one. You didn't have to kill him. You had methods of keeping him in check. And I do want to condemn the film for this, with the caveat that if it is like a genuine, intentional, reflection of like this, Strange's journey through this, about not always needing to have full control and not fearing the chaos and uncertainty of not having that, just embracing it and doing the best you can, despite not having full control, then okay, fair. That's kind of fair. Like, they killed him, but they didn't need to. He had worked with them and was remorseful and wasn't going to fight them on any of this stuff I'm throwing out there, But if they had to be completely sure and, snuffed out good of life, and Charles Xavier was more remorseful about that and saying we made a mistake when he starts talking to Doctor Strange. I think he kind of hints at that, but it's like, I could have. It's kind of like hopeful, like, hey, not everyone has to be like that. I wish it was more remorseful, that he was sad that he had killed them, Anywho, intentional for Strange's journey to serve as a parallel, very good. If it's just something that wasn't really thought about too much, especially like they are willing to let the Scarlet Witch live after being far more malicious in this version of Strange, especially because he does this whole dreamwalking thing to defeat Thanos and save like half of all life in his universe. Like, I don't know, that's some mixed messaging there, Some mixed messaging. Bruce Campbell from Campbell Soups, no, from Evil Dead, and cameos in the original Spider-Man trilogy. I think he was originally supposed to play Mysterio, hence why he was popping up in all these different roles in Peter's life, which would have been amazing. I kind of wish they had made that Spider-Man 3, That would have been way better, but yeah, they really rushed out things with Venom in that. It's like, you can't rush the Venom arc, Like, you have to, like, cover Venom in multiple films with Spider-Man having the suit and then either losing it or like reconciling with the symbiote. It's a whole thing. Originally it was just like this evil parasite, and then it's like, no, it's part of this like advanced alien civilization. It has all this trauma and whatnot. But like, and all the retellings that don't go into this expanded universe, they just go back to evil symbiote, and it's like, pick a lane, If it can be reasoned with and it is like sympathetic and remorseful for the actions it's done, I would like it to stay with Peter. I'm a big fan of the black suit, but that's a whole other tangent. This is a whole other tangent in the Doctor Strange review. Whole other tangent. Anywho, I see nothing wrong with it, but I'm not into Deadpool either. Anywho, where was I? Yes, lack of control. Anywho. God, no, I've lost the beat here. Parallel, it's fine. If it's overlooked, then I kind of have a problem with. I wish they did address that, or if it was like, Xavier said, it was voted for. It was Mordor said it was voted for, and I didn't. Xavier says I did not agree with that vote. It's like, that could have been interesting. Anywho, Scarlet Witch possesses her altered universe self after someone stabs the Darkhold, destroying it in the original reality. She takes Wong to these ancient temple catacomb slash throne room belonging to some other alternate version of the Scarlet Witch, I believe. Or, just a demon prophesizing her. It's kind of unclear. I kind of like that. It's ambiguous. Was, hey, this a demon prophesizing that she would arrive, and be the Scarlet Witch? Or was this just an alternate reality version of Scarlet Witch that arrived millennia earlier and just kind of died off, but has left traces in the world? It's fascinating. Anyway, after all of that, which again, the cinematography and the scoring is just so beautiful in this movie. There's so many guitar riffs that I absolutely love, and trippy visuals with focusing on parts of people's faces and then fading in imagery in the corner to convey information in a visually interesting way, or just je ne sais quoi. So there's good transitions between shots. It's just, my lord, this film is absolutely beautiful. I think it is the best that the MCU has put out to date, and I am in love with it. Oh, do you hear that? Anywho, I was certainly somewhere, wasn't I? Oh yeah, she eventually finds them and then fights with the Illuminati of this world. Oh, for those that don't know, the Illuminati is a thing from the Marvel comics that features a bunch of people like Doctor Strange and Professor Xavier and Tony Stark, etc., Reed Richards, all that, to kind of form as these outside group of superheroes coordinating and discussing things, because everything's political, whether you like it or not. It sucks, but that is the way it is, and you can either hide from that fact and have no power, or you can embrace it and then have some power because you act accordingly with that information. Anyway, it's a nice call out. But yeah, she ends up fighting them, but like I said, Black Box on the thing. Scarlet Witch, they say oh yeah, he can destroy you with just a single word out of his mouth, and she goes, what mouth? And it's I get it, it's clever, it's fun. I kind of would have preferred a more jokey approach to that. Not haha light humor, but dark humor, where it's oh, I thought it's gonna be difficult without. I don't want to say it. It's how can you talk without any trace of a neck, And then the camera cuts back to him, and he just has no neck whatsoever. Everybody panics, and he just starts trying to feel for it, and then waves his hand through, and in one of the waves, the head just kind of topples, and the body falls. Again, no amounts of blood, not showing off any of the inner red bits, so it stays within, PG-13, PG-16 limits, whatever this thing was rated. But that would have been so much better, so much more horrific, and also kind of more funny, Because it does try to be just a little bit with the no mouth and him being what? And then it vibrating back into his own head, but it's there's no way his skin is strong enough to contain that. That makes no sense. If his skin is strong enough, but his bones and organs aren't, that's just weird. Because he kind of blows up the inside of his own head and it turns to mush, It's okay. Marvel picking a lane, even them firing all but one artist and writer for everything sounds more likely. Yeah. I mean, this is a horror film, and a Sam Raimi horror film. There is some campiness in it, but it's fun, horrific campy. And that would have just been better, at least in my opinion. Anywho, has a big fight. I get taking out Black Bolt, but because that's very OP against someone else who's very OP, so it's hard. How do you make this interesting? How do you just not make this he instantly wins because he just shouts before she's even there? They use the confidence, arrogance behind that, but it's yeah, you kind of have to take him out quickly just when you put him on the table quickly, But something really dumb. They feature off the Peggy Carter, or at least a version of Peggy Carter, First Avenger, that we saw in Marvel What If, but I don't think it's the exact same one, so and a black version of Captain Marvel, or just Captain Marvel, but not showing up here in the cast yet. So it's like they went for the perfect fan casting of John Krasinski as Reed Richards. I don't know. I feel like you could have gotten rid of like either the first Avenger, Captain Marvel of this universe. I don't think them just having the women fight together was the most interesting option, especially as this character was just introduced and we may be introducing him to MCU proper somewhere down the line. So, it might have been better if they had, killed off one of the two ladies and have Reed Richards fight along the surviving one. Would have been better, in my opinion, to help establish the character. But there's like we really do see how single-minded, focused, and obsessed Wanda is. Completely willing to kill, and glad like Sue Storm is still alive to raise their kids, because she's gonna kill them. And she turns him into just like strips of string, He's all Mr. Fantastic, all stretchy. She just makes him a little bit of string to kill him. It is, cuts First Avenger in half with her shield and drops a statue on Miss Marvel. I don't think that would kill her, though, but it definitely knocks her out, so dead or unconscious, either way, she can continue. Throughout all this strange, aggro's Mordo, fighty fight. He escapes. Mordo's trapped in pit with one half the caps on. Christine helps American Chavez escape, so that way they don't have to, they don't want to just get her hands on her and kill her. MacGuffin, equivalent to the Darkhold in this, to help stop Wanda thereafter, Professor Xavier informs them where it is, if they need to stop it. He tries to stop her, enters her mind, which, God, everybody wanted to see that. But I wish it was longer. It's over way too quickly. And it was like, Patrick Stewart's a bit too old for like any intense action scenes. Then like the perfect workaround would have been to bring, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but from like X-Men First Class and all those films, bring in that actor to reprise his role as Professor Xavier, in his own mind, still seeing himself like as a young man, or how he wishes to see himself. And have him just like, even just like 2 minutes of like some kind of like trippy mind action scene. Like something out of like Legion, or just like, God, just something that just melts reality inside a completely, spectral place, I want to say. Close enough. I'm not found. Anyway, that would have been so much better. And Professor X should not have gone out the way he did as a chump. It was a chump way to exit. He tries to pull out the Maximoff, the one that's possessed, out of this like prison of rubble to free her, and then just some red smoke comes up from behind, and Scarlet Witch just snaps his neck. Like, I snapped the neck, cool way to go, falling to the ground. It would have been even more impressive if it's like, we saw young Professor X, have his neck snap, and then Patrick Stewart collapses, dead-eyed as well. That would have been amazing after a good fight scene. But alas, it was over all too quickly. Anywho, they get to the thing, figure out, again, this Strange sealed it with the watch that Strange always keeps on him, has to use it to open it, kind of tying into like, he's kind of not letting go of the past, not moving on, needs to have some sense of control. I'm not a fan of horror deaths. Okay, understandable. They can get a little bit gruesome. I always prefer my on the campier side of horror, as opposed to the psychological, stuff or slasher films. Well, I mean, when they're trying to be serious about themselves, not the obviously campy ones I do like. Anywho, where was I? Gets there. Wanda catches up, though. A wonderful fight scene throughout this. Like, constant. Well, not fight scene, but just like Wanda's chasing her in like a body that she's possessing is not taken care of, you know? It's all beat up and dinged up from just all these action scenes, and she's not like kind of repairing it or healing herself or being defensive. She's just on the attack all the time, and I love it. But yeah, it's just while everyone else is running away from her, she's just kind of like limp hopping as fast as she can after them, and it's bloody terrifying. Oh god, it's amazing. And again, music throughout this film, the scoring is fantastic. Cinematography and just all around direction, I am in love with this film. It's made it my like favorite MCU film to date. Like, just a brief note, while like I can understand what's it, Spider-Man films, No Way Home, the spectacle of seeing all these Spider-Men get together is like great. I loved it as well. I believe like just this in every measurable way, outside of just the Spider-Man hype, is better than No Way Home. So it's like just so much more enjoyable. And I'm so happy it exists. And I really hope Sam Raimi comes back to direct a sequel to this as well, if he's willing to. You know, just having him direct another film like this, continuing Strange's story, would be so ideal. I would love it immensely. Now, gets there. Wanda gets a hold of America Chavez, though, burns, the MacGuffin, you know, making it seem all is lost, but again, tying into Strange's character arc. He keeps finding ways to control the situation, to be the one behind the knife, but he has to learn to trust and give control over to others and have faith that they can save the day as well. Which is honestly a really nice thing. He feels anyone else feels the lack of control, but gets over it and like, well, not over, but like is no longer in control by his feelings. It's a wonderful character arc throughout the film, and I am delighted by it. Anyway, so on and so forth. Wanda sends them to like a dying universe because of some other strange shenanigans there. And she then possesses, America Chavez to throw it back to her reality. And then, you see, the first thing that this Wanda worries about when she comes to again is what happened to her boys. And that's what she goes out to directly. I will say, though, it was kind of unclear if she had powers up to that point. She doesn't really do anything to try and prevent the possession, so that's weird. You think she would, like, have some magic, though? Maybe it was subtle, and I just missed it, but it's like, I was like, oh, she's kind of trapped there. Like, the door is just out of reach. She can't make it there without any powers. That's kind of cool when she flies out. And wait, she had powers? I thought, like, Wanda was bringing the powers via possession. But no. No. Anywho, one of my favorite fight scenes within this movie. They start wandering through the thing, find the Sanctum Sanctorum, you know, strange of that reality there. Bitter, remorseful about never being able to achieve his goals. And, like, searching throughout the multiverse, dreamwalking as well, being like, trying to find somewhere where they did become happy and figure out what he did wrong, but he just couldn't find anybody in the multiverse. It's a big thing. It's like, okay, it's not exactly needle in a haystack, but it's like, imagine a haystack a size of a state in America, the size of Texas, and you're looking for like any bar of gold in there. Sure, the bar of gold, probably pretty big, probably a lot of them, but when you're looking through a haystack the size of Texas, it's gonna be hard to find it. Anywho, where was I? So he just starts possessing other versions of himself and making them kill themselves. So, dark, but yeah, I love it. Anyhow, they have this wonderful fight scene where like some sheets of music go up in the air after Strange, you know, is knocked in piano, and I will say the other one has 3 eyes, so we'll just refer to him as 3 eyes for now. Knocks him to the piano, music sheets go in the air, and then he starts attacking him with musical notes. And the music in this scene is constantly changing for different types of fight music, you know? Or like dramatic bits of music. Throughout the entire fight as they're fighting with musical notes, and it is delightful. Just delightful. There's a little odd bit where it's like, they have all the notes together and they're just like, you know, the wizard standoff, like magic at you, no, I'm magic at you, colliding in the center. And he does this thing where he plays a chord on a harp, and it's like, okay, here's a musical note that forms out of that and goes to attack him to help win the day. Yeah, or no, the sphere of musical notes explode out and kill that version of Strange. But I don't know, it's cool. I enjoyed the fight scene overall. I'm on his side. Anywho, the whole reason they're there's a Darkhold there. It's a one in every universe, as well as whatever the good MacGuffin is. But yeah, Strange takes that, needs to dreamwalk back to his reality there, to try and help American Chavez before her powers are all stolen. But Christine is like, but you can't. You need a version of yourself in that reality. And given the name of this thing, it is, I do believe, a clever twist. Some like to contrive a twist by not really informing you with information, whereas this one just provides, a name, which you assume dreamwalking. You only dream when you're alive. And what's it, we constantly hear like, oh, I dreamwalked in this living person, make them kill. I dreamwalked into her here, and so on and so forth. But it's like, nowhere was it said. It's like, no, it has to be a living version of you. That's not the rule. You just need a version of you. And if you remember, back to the start of the film, there is a buried dead version of Strange from another reality, ready to be possessed. And he possesses it. Throughout like the last third of the film, or like the final act, besides just the wrapping up end stuff, Strange is a zombie. He is just a zombie throughout all this. He's missing a chunk of his face. I do have to wonder how. It seems that body just like rapidly deteriorated, maybe as a result of the magic, I guess. But like, it's like, okay, here's a few cuts and bruises on a dead body. Half its face just gone. Like all the cheek on the left side, gone. You're seeing teeth. I mean, it looks cool. I'm in love with this concept, so I'll go with it. But could you inform me of like what's causing that? I guess not. Anywho, je ne sais quoi. Where was I? Possesses it, swings over, starts getting attacked by spirits. The Guardians of the Dead, what they're called, start attacking him as a zombie, and also back in their reality, apparently there's beings that can either travel the multiverse, or like just these spirits in either reality can sense like, hey, no, this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing it, I'm gonna attack you. Christine, Strange entrusts her to protect him without giving anything to fight back against these things, just expecting her to figure it out. And I'm like, what? She finds some bloody end thing and puts a candle into it. It's magic, and that somehow shoots out fire to kill them. I don't know. But like a knife, a sword, a bow staff, anything? Any weapon to defend you with? Nope. Okay, whatevs. And after she does that, she's like comforting Strange and saying, you're Sorcerer Supreme, you're incredibly powerful, don't let these spirits attack them, harness their powers. And then he turns these Guardians of the Dead, these dead spirits, into a cloak. Because this version of Strange didn't have one for some reason. He literally grabs them, they're all trying to escape them, and it forms a cloak for them to fly with. I love it. I love it with every fiber of my being. This ending made me so overwhelmingly happy. I recommend, even if you've heard this and it's like, why watch this? Nothing can compare to seeing this. It is delightful. It is wonderful. I am just in awe of it. I am so happy for watching that. Where else? Oh yeah, Wanda tried to kill Wong. He survived by the skin of his teeth by hitting like the slimmest of ledges. Starts working his back way up. Like one of the things are trying to... There's also these like minions from the previous thing that now serve Wanda. They don't really do much, so I haven't mentioned them till now. Tries to start warming up to shoot Strange. Wong throws a knife into its head. It falls off the cliff. The others are getting ready to attack it. Throws one. He almost loses gripping while shielding himself. The others are getting ready, and Strange swoops in to save him. It's a nice dynamic. I do appreciate it. It comes down to all respect and working together. You know, that they're building up to the film compared to early in this film and the previous one, where Strange is just kind of like operating behind Wong's back and not, respecting his authority as Sorcerer Supreme. So that's nice. And it's just this wonderful fight scene with Wanda trying to attack the two of them, and Strange using Jedi Squad, the cloak just to absorb the magic and then throwing it at her to have these spirits attack her, and Wong trapping her. And then we get into the thing I've already mentioned way early in the film. Instead of like draining powers, he restores America Chavez confidence and trust in her. Wanda burns him up, but he's a zombie, so it's gonna take way more to kill him than just killing him. My favorite line in the film. I love it. And then everything happens as I said. We get some nice closing stuff. We see him again, all confident, walk out. Also, but there's still consequences from using the Darkhold. Our original Doctor Strange now has 3 eyes as well. It comes with amazing guitar riff. May it always come with an amazing guitar riff. God, do I love it. Cutscene, one mention, other just setting up. It's like, hey, you caused an incursion. Your reality in danger here, over here. You're gonna do something about it? And it's like, okay, yeah, I ain't afraid. Let's do this. And eye-open musical sting. I love it. I love it so much. Also, it's like, this is like the first superhero movie I've seen where it's like, yeah, you need magic to change out of outfits so quickly, and Strange is like, yeah, I got magic. Flings his cloak around him, his clothes just magically change. It's like, yeah, I love it. I love everything about this film. It is now quickly become my favorite MCU film to date. Like I said earlier, I do believe it is better than Spider-Man No Way Home. I do appreciate Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it's a very good one, but it is a spectacle film. I'm not sure how much I would enjoy it on rewatch. Whereas this, I would absolutely love to watch and rewatch. Like comparing it, like the cinematography of this film to that of No Way Home, this film blows No Way Home out of the water. Just direction and cinematography is amazing. It is breathtaking. Like you don't really notice it until you see a film do it, or a TV show do it so spectacularly, so mind-blowing. It's one of those things you tune out until you see, oh yeah, here's some nice art, here's some nice art, here's the best art I have ever seen in my entire life. And it just makes you think more, not necessarily, well, kind of critically, but also just more in awe of not only this, but of like other ones. It's like, yeah, I'm taking blows out of the water, but it does make you still appreciate those other ones as well. So that's honestly a lovely thing about art. But anyhow, delighted by this film. 5 out of 5 stars, or whatever ranking system I use. I don't keep track of it. Do you? I had an absolute blast with this film, and I highly encourage anyone watching it. Available on Disney Plus. I think maybe, depending on region, there's still a few straggler showings left, like 1 or 2 a day. Might be done by the time this goes up, or shortly after, depending on region. Might be done already. I don't know. I didn't check. I saw this up on Disney Plus. So I was like, yes, finally, because I don't live near a cinema. It's a 45-minute bus ride away. And that's like a commitment, there and back. Plus then having to organize your whole day around the extra time because the buses only go on certain times. It's a whole thing. So Disney Plus is really convenient. Oh, that kind of has in Buzz Lightyear not performing as well. Only like 50 million compared to the 80 million they were hoping for opening weekend. So who knows? Maybe it's just like the future. It's like same day cinema, same day streaming platform, and it's like Disney and the other companies kind of reduce like their ticket prices accordingly, so that way it's more affordable to people go in there, and those who really want to can afford it and will do so, and they still make more money there than apparently they're making now. And je ne sais quoi, cinemas themselves just sell more commissions, more money to go towards that if the tickets are cheaper, so they make a better cut that way. Anyhow, still have to watch Bad Guys and Sonic 2. Bad Guys? I've already watched The Bad Guys. I have a review up for it on my channel. I loved it. Absolutely amazing. If you're talking about yourself, then yeah, I have to watch Sonic 2. I have to figure out where to rent that. I want to see that. I've heard good things about it. Pretty good. If you like the original, you'll like that. But anyhow, that has been my rambling, spoiler review of Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness. Did I say spoilers at the start of this? I kind of hoped you would figure that out. I hope you didn't watch this all the way through and realize at the end, wait, all this is a spoiler? For anyone that does follow that, sorry, because, like, hey, sometimes people are oblivious. Like, people like to joke about it, but it's like, I've had my share of oblivious moments when, in retrospect, it was silly, but it's like, yeah, pointing and mocking at somebody else. It's better that be left to self-deprecating humor as opposed to pointing at someone and laughing. Anywho, with all that out of the way, it's time to do the good old end stuff you do for a review. How long has this review been? By the way, I've just been rambling, having a delightful time about talking about a film I absolutely love. Now, again, be sure to like and subscribe, share this video about the place, and all that good stuff you can do on YouTube for Sod Passion Projects. Also, Sod Passion Gaming as well. You can find a link to the link tree and about Sex's channel and all that good stuff. You know, do that over there. Short streams. Huge help if you subscribe and like all the stuff there you see. What else? Discord and all that stuff. That's a huge help. Currently a poll for what game I'll be playing, probably the Friday after this releases. If you want to hop in real quick and cast a vote to influence what I'll be playing, last minute swing, now's the time. Anywho, where else was I? Donations, as I said, let's pull that back up. Huge help. My PC, my laptop is failing me. Chat can attest to this, if you would. Like, several minutes was just waiting for the my browser to become responsive again so I could promote it and change the stream title and everything to a review. It was very frustrating. So yes, any donations would be dearly appreciated as well. And I do believe that is everything, so it's time to say ta-ta, auf Wiedersehen, until we meet again. Bye-bye, and comment what films you'd like to see me review about. Should have done this before. Silly me. Comment whatever. What you thought of the film yourself if you already watched it. Do all that good stuff. Okay, for real this time. Bye.